Hello everybody and welcome to Buttered Gaming. I'm Buttered Toast III and today I'm going to be continuing my Java for Beginners tutorial here. As you'll notice, this is episode 9 of our Java for Beginners tutorial, and today we're going to be looking at arrays. So this episode might be a little shorter than normal. I've been keeping it around 20 minutes per episode, not on purpose really, it's just how it kind of worked out. But today, all we're really talking about are arrays. We're going to be using for loops a lot, but I talked about those in a previous episode. So let's jump right in. As you'll notice also, I did put in the class initialization and the main statement here, and I just thought I'd bring that to your attention, I guess. I don't know. And we can go ahead and get into arrays. So what is an array? An array is basically a list of values, I guess, that are held in the memory of the computer. It's kind of like a variable that stores a list of values instead of one. So I can put that up here. Basically, a variable that stores a list of values instead of just one value. Alright, so now that we have that covered, not too hard of a concept really, how do we initialize an array? So to initialize an array, the formula is going to be the variable type that you're going to be storing in the array. You have to indicate whether or not it's like an integer or a double or whatever, a list of integers or a list of doubles that you're putting into this array. So you're going to have var type here, and then you're going to have the array name. And then you're going to have these little square brackets. And that's basically indicating kind of what's going to be in the array, but right now we're not going to put anything in there. And then you can go new, and then you have to put the var type again, and then you're going to have to do square brackets, and you're going to have to do the number of indexes. An index is basically the spot that the array is going to be storing a variable in. So what you can do to initialize the array, then what we're going to do is we're going to take an array, and I guess we can just go example array. We have to put our variable type. I already didn't follow the instructions. I apologize. So what we can do, I think today we're just going to go integers. I'm going to have our example array, and then you can put your two little brackets there, and then we can go equals new int, and then I think we're just going to have 10 values. So then you need your semicolon to finish off the line. Now, as with everything else I've really talked about so far, when you put 10, it's going to have 10 spots, but with arrays, they start at 0. So it's going to be 0 through 9 instead of 1 through 10. Just be aware of that, and you need to know about that. So one thing I did kind of set up to show you kind of what an array is we have, pretend this is our array, this line here that's got our borders on it. That's our array, and it's, as you can see, they're all empty right now. And I just put what spot each of these spots is. As you'll notice, it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 instead of 1 through 10. I just put array over here so you know it's an array. So that's kind of how you can visualize it. It's a good way to think about it. I think we'll come back to this later, and I'll show you how to store variables in the array. So if we're going to be storing variables in the array, one of the ways you can do it just manually is you can type out the array name. So in this case we have example array, and then you have your little square brackets again, and then you're going to put the spot that you want to, the index, I guess. You're going to put the index that you want to have this value stored in. So in this, if we wanted to store it in 5, we're going to store it in spot 5, and we're going to store just whatever variable you decide. You can put a 9 in there just because we can, then you're going to end it with your semicolon. So if I execute that code, here's our array again. So I wanted to put it in spot 5. So there's our spot 5. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just assigning the value 9 into that spot. Now arrays, you can store characters and things like that too, so don't think it's only integers. You can store, I think you can even store booleans, you can store whatever you want, I think, as far as I know. If any of you know that you can't store a certain thing in an array, go ahead and put it in the comments for me, and you'll be helping me out a little bit. So, all right, moving on. Another way you can do it is you can store values using, for example, a for loop. One of the easier ways to do it is you can go for, say, int I. And a lot of people use I just as an indexing variable just because you're not going to be using it anywhere else, so it doesn't really need a great, amazing name. So we have, up here we have 10 spots in our array. So we're going to actually initialize this I to equal 0. So we have 10 spots in our array. So if our I is less than 10, we want to execute the loop. And every time we execute the loop, we're going to go I plus, we're going to add a value to I. So this I, it's going to start at 0, and it's going to go all the way through 9. It's going to get through 9, execute again, and then it's going to add 1. And then it's going to check if it wants to do it again, and it's going to say, oh, it's at 10, so we can't do it. And we're going to just exit the loop. So that's just kind of an explanation of what's going on right there. So then to store values, again, you're going to take this same exact kind of example, and then you can go example array, and instead of putting a spot, like a number here for your spot, what you can do is you're going to put I in there. So as you'll see, it's going to start at 0, so it's going to start at array index 0. And then every time it goes through, it's going to be 1 bigger, so it's going to go to array index 1, array index 2, etc. And then you're going to equal, and then whatever value you want to put in there. So you can make it equal the same value throughout the whole thing. So if I wanted to put, say, again, 9 in there, we can go ahead and do that. And it'll equal 9 in the entire array. Or another thing you can do is you can assign random numbers to those. So if we wanted to get a random number, we'd have to import the random class, import java.util.random, there we go. And then we need to initialize our random, oop, I spelled random wrong. Random, there we go. Wow, I'm still spelling it wrong. Goodness, there we got it, eventually. And then what we can do is we can come over here, we can initialize the random object, there we go. And that would just be random, my random equal new random, and we don't need to do anything there. So if I wanted to take my array and assign a random number to it, I can go my random dot next int, and then it doesn't really matter what number I assign there, but we can go 10, and we can add 1 if we wanted to. There you go. So I spelled random up here again wrong. Wow, I am just failing at spelling random. There we go. So then if I ran that code, it would assign all these random numbers to the indexes in array. But it's not going to show you that because I don't have any way to show you that. But if you did want to display the values in the array, you could again use a for loop. So we can go for, again, we're just going to do the same thing that we did for the last for loop, and we can go int I equals 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, and then do our block there. And what we can do in this case is we can go system.out.println, and we can go array index. Let's see, put a space there, so it puts a space in our display. Plus I, because that'll be the value that we want to display. Plus, put a space there, has value. We can plus, and then we can go example array, and then put our square brackets, put I there for our index, and it should display the value. I'll put that inside, you put that outside, there we go. Then it should display the value that is that example array. Because if you do just this, it's going to return the value, and then using the system.out.print, we're going to display that value. So then we can save it, and we can run it, and boom, there you go. It displayed all of our numbers. So we have array index 0 has value 8, array index 1 has value 4. So basically what this is saying is we have our array here, and 0 has 8, 4, and then it's just putting random numbers in, in all of these spots, and then it's just displayed for us. So then our array, it's not going to have the, I didn't want to save that, there we go. It's not going to have a spot 87 in there at all. It's just because of what, I keep trying to save that. Just because of what I assigned it to put into the array, but you can put whatever in you want in there. So at any rate, that's actually going to be it for this video. So that's, as I said, it was a little shorter than it usually is. So thank you very much for watching. As always, you can get the source code for this video on ButteredGaming.com/source. You can either view it or download it to your pleasure. And again, thank you very much for watching, and hope you come again next time. Hey, I hope you liked the video. If you did, you can click on the previous general upload section to see a Magic the Gathering deck showcase, or you can click on the previous playlist upload to see the previous upload in this playlist if you haven't already.